Good evening and a very warm welcome to Radio and Television Tonga News Package for the hour. Making headlines, 3 members of Parliament were unseated from their roles this morning. The 3-lanes traffic on Taufa'aha Road is suspended effective yesterday, Tuesday, the 9th of August. And Lord Fohe sworn in as Cabinet Minister yesterday. Now for the stories in detail. 3 members of Parliament were unseated from their roles this morning. These members of Parliament are Tongatapu 4 People's Representative Tafu Moeaki, the former Minister of Finance, Revenue and Custom, former Deputy Prime Minister and Tongatapu 6 People's Representative Boasi Matailetei, and as well and Tongatapu 7 People's Representative, the former Internal Affairs Minister Sione Sengsta Saulala. They were unseated by the Speaker of the House, Lord Fafanua, after he received the final judgment from the Supreme Court yesterday. Mark Ake with the detail.
Tafu Moeaki, Boasi and Sengsta Saulala were found guilty of bribery during last year's general elections but remained in their roles after securing a state judgment early in the year until a decision was made in the Court of Appeal. However, their appeals were dismissed yesterday. Meanwhile, Tongatapu 10 People's Representative, the former Prime Minister, Reverend Dr. Pohiva Tuinetoa's appeal was accepted after being found guilty of bribery in the Supreme Court. The appeals of former Tongatapu 1 and 2 MPs, Shas Pohiva and Semisi Sika, were dismissed after they accused the current Tongatapu 1 and 2 MPs, Devita Puloka and Dr. Uhila Moilangi Fasi, of bribery. This means Puloka, Dr. Fasi, and Dr. Tuinetoa will remain in their seats and represent their respective constituencies. During Parliament deliberations this morning, Moeaki, Saulala and Dei were given an opportunity to say a few words before being unseated. All 3 said that they accept the decision of the court and the law. They also acknowledged His Majesty King Teboho VI, Speaker of Parliament, members of Parliament, workers in the ministries and people of their constituencies for all their hard work during the time they were in office. The Prime Minister, Honorable Huakavame Liku, and the second Nobles Representative for Tongatapu, Lord Tuivakano, on behalf of the MPs and Nobles, acknowledged these 3 MPs for respecting the law and wished them well on the rest of their journey. Lord Tuivakano said this is a lesson for all of them in Parliament and all of Tonga to review the Election Act to make sure that the same problems won't happen again in the future. According to the Electoral Act Section 40, a person who is unseated or whose election is declared void under this act shall not be nominated as a candidate at any election held within 5 years of the date when he or she is ordered to be unseated or his or her election is declared void, provided that a person who is unseated or whose election is declared void because he or she was entitled to be a candidate shall not be nominated as a candidate only at any election which has become necessary as a result of that person's unseating or election being declared void.
The Honourable Prime Minister Huakavame Liku witnessed the swearing-in of Tongatapu's Noble Representative Number 3, Lord Fohe, as the new Minister for Agriculture, Food and Forestry. Lord Fohe took his oath before the Honourable Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers in the Cabinet Chamber at the St. George Building in Nuku'alofa before a celebration ceremony held with the people of Puke to also mark the opening of a new multipurpose hall for the village. Mark Ake again with the detail.
The new Minister of Agriculture, Food and Forestry, who is the estate holder of Puke, was sworn in as a minister during the sitting of Parliament on the 1st of this month. Lord Fohe replaces Ha'apai 12 MP, the late Vili Manoa Hingano, who passed away in June this year. Meanwhile, a special ceremony was held at Puke yesterday to mark Lord Fohe's newly cabinet profile and also the opening of a new multipurpose hall for the village. The new building is part of the government's effort to develop communities for humanitarian purposes as well as an evacuation center for times of natural disasters in the future. The hall is named Alaki Peau or Heumanu Tafa Hall, which is 24 meters high and 9.8 meters wide and is estimated to be worth at least 300,000 ba'anga. Prime Minister Huakavame Liku ensured during the program that the multipurpose hall will assist the village with various occasions and events and also the Tongatapu 6 constituency. Also in attendance at the program were Lord Speaker of Parliament Fa'afanua and members of the House along with cabinet ministers.
Tonga Police hereby advises members of the public, particularly road users, that the 3-lanes traffic on Taufa'aha Road has suspended effective yesterday, Tuesday the 9th of August. Safe road is one of the Tonga Police strategic goals, and this move aims to ensure and maintain public safety on our roads. It is also an opportunity for the Ministry of Infrastructure, in particular the Principal Licensing Authority, to fulfill their obligation under Section 24 of the Traffic Act with respect to putting up necessary road signs and markings. Tonga Police believes the three-lane traffic on Taufa'aha Road to be a good initiative, but however the trial period has lasted over 2 years and it's now time for safety purposes and for enforcement to be properly applied that the road signs and marking required by the law are put in place. The Whole House Committee approved the annual report of the Finance Ministry 2020-2021 with all members in favour. This report concludes the outcomes and states that 2020-2021 has been a challenging year for the ministry. Mark Ake tells you more.
The ministry led the reconstruction and recovery effort in the aftermath of the tropical cyclone Harold and the January 15th disaster. It also stated that recovery projects from 2020 are yet to be completed. During yesterday's parliament deliberations, Togantapu 5 People Representative Dr. Isaac Eke was concerned that the relief packages and monetary assistance from overseas for the January 15th devastation is not detailed in the reports, as well as the 60 million paanga assistance to local businesses that were affected from COVID-19. He added he was expecting to see more details on these assistances. The former Finance Minister, Tataf Moeaki, said this report is the annual report for the 2020 to 2021 fiscal year, and the annual report for the 2021 to 2022 fiscal year will detail all the monetary assistance and relief packages from overseas to Tonga in response to the devastation in January this year. Other issues were brought up during the deliberations, but the Whole House Committee approved the annual reports for 2020 to 2021 of the Ministry of Finance.
And the Chief Defence Staff of His Majesty's Armed Forces, Brigadier Lord Velakepa, was one of the 5 military leaders who received a prestigious induction award from the National Defence University, or NDU International Fellows Hall of Fame. The International Fellows Hall of Fame is a program that provides a prestigious and visible means of honouring the NDU graduates who have attained through merit the highest positions in their nation's armed forces or government. Lord Velakepa was invited by the President of the National Defence University, Professor Michael Plen, to return to their campus for a formal induction ceremony yesterday. The next scheduled ceremony will be in honour of graduates from the Joint Forces Staff College during the 75th anniversary celebration since the college founding. Following the Brigadier's induction, framed portraits of him will be permanently displayed in the International Fellows Hall of Fame inside the General George Marshall Hall, as well as in the lobby of the Joint Forces Staff College in Norfolk, Virginia. Additionally, Plen recognized and gave his condolences to the Chief of Defence Staff and the Tongan people following the volcanic eruption and tsunami that affected Tonga in January. The President of the National Defence University and the NTU community continue to keep Tonga in their thoughts as Lord Velakepa rebuilds and restores during this tragic event. The National Defence University has full faith that Brigadier Lord Velakepa will continue to be an exceptional leader in Tonga during this difficult time. The university is proud to count Lord Velakepa as one of their graduates and would like to celebrate his distinct achievements amongst friends, family, fellow alumni and current students. And that wraps up this evening's news package, but before we part, here's one final look at today's top stories. 3 members of Parliament were unseated from their roles this morning. The 3 lanes of traffic on Taufa'aha Road is suspended effective yesterday, Tuesday the 9th of August, and Lord Fohe sworn in as Cabinet Minister yesterday. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Vaifanatu Bola. Good evening.